and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. This is Julifer. I think that what's really interesting to me is how things that were taboo, unusual, rare, and for only a few have become extremely commonplace and ordinary in a lot of ways, actually. It sort of makes it a lot easier for people to claim a Gothic sensibility. It's much more widespread and acceptable. Gothic clothing, Gothic interior design, and even Gothic sensibilities are as commonplace as hippie sensibilities are. It's not a nostalgic culture. It's not even a subculture anymore at all. It's a culture, with tattooing being acceptable, skulls, bones, taxidermy, post-mortem images, Victorian dressing up, just all sorts of things that used to be purely Gothic in nature are just a lot more commonplace. There's a lot more Halloween type imagery around all the time. Shows like Oddities and Miami Ink, LA Ink, Secrets of the Dead. Those are the ones that come to mind mostly. Dracula, Penny Dreadful, Ripper Street, even Copper, which is a bit like Ripper Street actually. But just that sort of Victorian, dark, Gothic type of atmosphere is much more popular. Even something like Carnival, carnivals, circuses, creepy freaks, or unusual people, things like little people, conjoined twins, birth abnormalities, unusual diseases, artwork, all the neo-surrealist artwork, the very Gothic artwork, Catholic symbolism, crucifixes, altars, just really obscure things that used to be obscure are no longer obscure. There's it's so much easier to get information about things, and it's so much easier to see artwork. There's so many more books published on these unusual artists. It's so much more popular. Things like charnel houses and ossuaries, things that very few people used to be interested in. They're now extremely widespread, it seems to me. And I mean, look at something like taxidermy, collecting taxidermied animals. This is something that was very Addams Family. It's like creepy and spooky, and not too many people were really into that. And now it seems rather commonplace. It's so commonplace that it's the unusual in taxidermy that's looked for, such as a two-headed bird, or the really unusual things. Stuff that used to be unusual isn't so unusual anymore. For example, coffin plates used to be really hard to find. They're very easy now. So easy that a place Loved to Death has some, but they're not even in the market for them, really. They don't even need to. That's not the most unusual thing that they have. When they're looking for unusual things, they really need to get strange. Things like coffin plates aren't strange anymore. So if I want to show you my coffin plate collection, it just doesn't seem to carry the same kind of weight that it would have in the past. Or my bone collection, or anything like that, really. So I don't know, how much weirder can we get? If I can go on eBay and buy a post-mortem photograph for under $50, which is insane. They used to be a lot more expensive. If I can buy a necklace of a post-mortem infant child for under $10, which this was, how much stranger can you get than that? It just seems like these things are too easy. They should be a little bit more difficult to find out about, more difficult to find, less popular. It's distressing that these things are so popular, I think. It's good for businesses that specialize in that sort of thing, I guess. But for the rest of us, it just makes things, well, in a sense it's good, and in a sense it's bad. In the past, when things like, say, Victorian boots were really in style, I'd get really excited because I just figured I'd get what I could while they were in style, and when they weren't in style, I'd still be wearing them, and I would have had the opportunity, and I wouldn't have had to spend as much as in the past. And nowadays it's just all in style. So there's really crappy versions of everything too, and that's a problem. But I don't know, I probably shouldn't complain too much. There's just a freshness missing. There's a freshness missing. The excitement is kind of the exploratory nature, really knowing that something was your private haven, feeling that something was precious and special. It's kind of gone in a way. I don't know. These are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you think there's too much of this stuff around now, if it's too popular, let me know. I'm interested. These are just some thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me in the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Take care and good night. And remember, embrace the darkness.